right, what is going on, everyone? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics. And like I'm sure you can see from the thumbnail, CGC has decided to increase their prices to start off the new year. This is not a huge surprise if you watch the live streams that we did over at Swaggle Comics channel last week, something like that, about a week ago. That was one of the things that like Mighty Comics and Collectibles specifically called out, that he was expecting to see this type of price increase. And I think we're not all that surprised. Generally, what it seems like to me is that, and I know it's from the new leadership. We all know this, but generally, or the new owners, I guess you could call it. I feel like it's being treated very similar to the way that you hear people talk about rent. Like, you're supposed to raise, like if you're renting out property, you're supposed to raise your rent, like even if it's just a little bit, every year. And so CGC, it used to be that they never raised their prices. I mean, if you remember, maybe about 3-4 years ago, I think they hadn't raised their prices for like 5 years prior to that. Now we get at least one, if not two, price increases or some type of shift in prices every single year. And it's usually only a couple bucks or something, but it's just something where it's like just trying to condition you to know that prices are going to go up every year and you should expect it. So here's the article. CGC announces revised services and fees for 2025. The changes to CGC's services and fees are effective January 21st, 2025 for submissions made in the U.S. On January 1st, Certified Guarantee Company will update some of its services and fees for comic books, cards, video games, and home video collectibles, including CGC Signature Series. So it is not just comics, it is across the board that we are seeing this price increase. New fees apply to all online submission forms completed January 21st, 2025 or later. Online submission forms completed before this must arrive at CGC headquarters in Sarasota, Florida by February 11th to qualify for previous pricing. So I had been holding off on sending a bunch of stuff in. Clearly, this isn't enough time for me to like send books to a presser and all that. But I will probably send in some of my reholder books, because if you'll see, we'll go over the price changes. The reholder had a pretty big increase for high value reholders. Now it's total value, it's not a big change, but percentage change, it's a pretty big shift. So that's something that I might consider doing. I do have my $150 credit still because I haven't used my my CGC submission at all over the last year. So I'll probably just use that up as part of this. So here we can see the changes in the fees. For the most part, they're really not all that much. So it's like I said, I do kind of feel like it's just, it's like conditioning you to just expect that there's going to be at least one price increase every year. And it's just probably going to keep happening every year after this. It's not really something to be all outraged about and everything. I mean, it is what it is. But modern tier fee changed $27. It was $25, so $2. Vintage tier changed to $42, was $40. High value tier, I think, was $85. Let's check. Yeah, high value tier was $85. That's changing to $95. That's a little bit bigger of an increase. This is a $10 increase for the high value tier. Unlimited, it's still 4% of fair market value. The minimum is $115. I believe the minimum today is $100. Let's see. Yeah, minimum is $100. So that's where the change is happening. It's on the minimum where they start applying that 4% of value. Then we've got, or basically the minimum that you have to at least pay. It used to be $100. Now it's going to be $115. Reholder went from $20 to $25. Now the high value reholder, this one is the surprising one to me. This was $50. It is now $75. That is a 50% increase in price for the high value reholder. And that's why I have a few books that I want to get done that are high value reholders. And so I will just send those in and get them done before this price increase happens. Custom label fee, $8. I don't know what the custom label fee is today. It is not something that I ever use. So $5. So that's a big jump too. $5 to $8 may not sound like a lot, but a lot of people use those. And so overall, I mean, that's a 60% increase. So in terms of percentage, the biggest two increases look like they are these two down here. So the high value reholder going up 50% from $50 to $75, custom label going up 60% from 5 to 8. Modern tier, it's like 8% or something. Vintage tier here, it's 5%. High value tier looks like that one's like maybe like 13, 14%. And this one here, this is going up $5. That's 25%. So yeah, I mean, it's annoying because again, similarly, if you watched the live stream that we did, one of the opening questions that Mickey asked us was, to try to start on a positive note. What was something good or beneficial that CGC did over the last year? And really none of us could come up with anything. That I feel like about the best we could do is I mentioned like adding JSA. Like that was something new that they added, a new capability for the signature authentication. But in terms of how CGC has improved or changed to the benefit of the users of that service, it was pretty much crickets in the room. So you can say they earned this price increase, right? Like we definitely, from all the new, products and services and benefits and the great performance that we've gotten from CGC over the last year, we definitely, we're comfortable with this price increase. But hey, I mean, it's business. It is what it is. Not the end of the world, but I'm sure it's going to upset some people. The small increases I don't really care. It's like a couple bucks. It would be ideal, obviously, if these changes were coming along with improvements that we saw at CGC, but it's not the case. Turnaround times have gotten much, much worse over the last couple months. We still don't really seem to have a resolution to the whole Bend Gate or Banana Gate situation. I'm still hearing that people are getting books back that are having this problem. Like we said, going back to that live stream that we did, I mean, all we really want, or like me, like all I really want, I just want CGC to do their job and not have these types of issues, the types of issues that we had over the last year come up. Like as long as they can do that, then I'm happy. I don't really care about anything else. To me, it should just be like a service that I'm sending in, getting my stuff back, and I don't have to think about. But it seems like over the last year, the last couple years, we've just constantly been having to worry about what they're doing. So we'll see what happens when PSA comes out. If that's going to force any changes as a legitimate competitor out there, that is also what's a little interesting with the price increase. Like right before PSA should be starting to accept submissions this year. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's gonna be an interesting year. We're going to see a new big competitor entering the market, and who knows? Maybe they will immediately start taking big chunks of market share. Like if people are just frustrated with this type of thing, or it's just going to be that we all continue sending to CGC because that's where the highest return on our submissions comes from. Because that's really what it comes down to for the most part, is resale value after the fact. I mean, I know that's not everybody, but it is a big percentage of people and a big reason why a lot of people submit. And that is why they can continue to raise their prices. And they know that. So hopefully you enjoyed this, got something out of it. Do what you will with this information, and I will see you on the next one.